Hey, welcome to another edition of Kyle Meredith with. It's the interview series presented by WFPK at WFPK.org. Consequence and the Consequence Podcast Network. Thanks as always for making your way here for checking out the series. Please do hit that subscribe button. That way you get 3 new interviews sent to you every single week, just like this one, new and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Great way to keep up with your favorite artists and discover the new ones. You can grab us anywhere you get podcasts from, including Spotify, Apple Podcast, NPR, WFPK.org, Consequence, or of course, right here on YouTube. Wherever you get your podcast from, you can subscribe to Kyle Meredith with. That's me, Kyle Meredith. Today, we're going to be talking about the new Apple TV Plus series, Women in Blue, with actresses Bárbara Mori and Ximena Sariñana. This whole series, so it's set in 1970, inspired by true events. It tells the story of 4 women who defy the ultra-conservative norms of the time and join Mexico's first female police force, only to discover that their squad is a publicity stunt to distract the media from a brutal serial killer. It is beautifully shot. It is beautifully acted, and I'm so excited to talk with them. Let's jump into it. We're talking Women in Blue, out now on Apple TV Plus. It's Kyle Meredith with Bárbara Mori and Ximena Sariñana.
Hi, Kyle.
Hi.
It's a pleasure to meet you both. I want to say what a powerful series that you all are a part of here. Beautifully shot, beautifully acted. I know this is it's sort of 2 things, right? You get to tell the story of the serial killer and the thrill of that story, but it's about so much more than that. These women, not just the 4 of you, but the story of what women have had to overcome. I'd love to hear from both of you about why it was important for you to be a part of this story. Barbara, if you want to start?
Yes, sure. Well, first of all, working with Fernando for the first time, it was something that we were looking forward to do. So that was the main thing for me to do this. Then when I started hearing the story, what it is about, and the importance and the relevance that has in this year, in this time, even though it's a series that it takes place in 1971, in 2024, we still have a lot of things to work on in reference with a machista society, that we live in, and all the margination that the woman lived in that time, and at this time as well, all the feminicides that takes place in today's in our country. It's crazy. So I think telling these types of stories is very important.
Ximena, is it the same for you?
Definitely. I mean, I do think that there's still a lot of work to be done in terms of, female equality around the world, but especially in Mexico. Mexico, we have a severe violence crisis in terms of, in general in the country, but specifically towards women. And I think that this series, unfortunately, is going to resonate a lot with current society.
Yeah. And just seeing, again, how your characters, everybody is up against something, like everybody. And I think you'd mentioned maybe somewhere, I think you said, this was a big challenge for you finding this character. Is that right? And if so, why?
It was very challenging because, first of all, I come from a music background, so I'm primarily a musician, and this was to me, a huge acting obstacle that I needed to overcome, and I needed to, I was really worried that I was going to do a good job, especially because of Angeles's character. She is in the autism spectrum, and I just was very concerned that I wouldn't portray somebody in the specter, and that would come across as truthful. So I prepared a lot for the character with a lot of help from Fernando, obviously, from an acting coach, and from a lot of people that we managed to interview, and we worked closely with an organization that works with people in the autism spectrum. So that was just great for me. I felt, very, very supported throughout, and I am very proud of the work that we achieved.
I do love that she even still has a little bit of a Velma Scooby-Doo quality to her, just a little bit.
100% Velma. It's that
Yeah.
wig. That wig.
Barbara, for you, like you have to bridge these generations. Like your character finds herself in this spot where, she's still very much tied, to an earlier generation while pushing forward. What was it like for you to kind of embody someone like that?
It was something very special because I was most of my life in the past trying to belong in some place in the society, to be someone. And I think Maria, it's there, all the time. It grew up there, and he grew up believing that she has to be this perfect wife and she has to be this. The society tells her that you can just be limited by this and you cannot be anything more. And when she joins the police force, she discovered her true potential. She discovered that she had a dream that she wanted to make it true, and she discovered the strong and determination of women when they come together with the same desire of help others and solve crimes and investigate cases and be useful for not just the police, for the community and the society. So discovering this with the character, it's amazing. Yeah.
I love the small details too. At one point, you're reading Truman Capote's In Cold Blood. Like I'm sure that was purposeful.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Just
Yes,
those little
Fernando.
details in there. And again, it's beautifully shot the way it is. For both of you all, with it being in the 70s, does that change like directly how you approach the job?
I mean, for sure. I think in terms of speaking specifically about Angeles, I mean, right now there's a lot more information as to what it means to be in the autism spectrum. Back in the 70s, it was a diagnosis that didn't exist. It was mostly called other things, and the treatment was just something that people were terribly scared of because, it was basically the same as being, in a mental institution. So obviously, you have to know that in order to build this character, because part of Angeles's journey is sort of understanding that maybe the way that she understands her surroundings and the world isn't it's a little bit off as to what other people or how other people interact with their surroundings. So it was, it was interesting to sort of have this mystery. It's a mystery that, and Angeles loves to solve mysteries. So I definitely think that that's something that I had to keep in mind when I was building this character.
Yeah. And Barbara, I mean, I don't know if you can speak to it, but if I read it right, an entirely Hispanic cast and crew, somewhat set for an American television streamer. I mean, what does that mean for you? I mean, I assume that's got to mean a little something special.
What? ¿De qué?
O sea, que estamos haciendo esta serie, todo el cast and crew mexicanos y hispanos, hacerlo para una plataforma internacional como Apple, pues lo que eso representa para nosotras.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for us to work with people who is not just from here, from Mexico. You get to learn from other cultures as well, and to for Apple to put us all together and make this big and this beautifully, you can see the aesthetics and the dress and everything is so beautiful. That is I don't know, it's very inspiring for us.
Yeah, and to be able to show a little bit of what of the history of, Mexico City and our culture and our country, and to know that people from all over the world are going to be able to see that and to identify with these four women is just, an incredible feeling.
Yeah. And I mean, I want to also say that, we're big fans of your music over here as well at WFPK. And I saw you're taking this a little bit further too. I mean, all women music festival, like top to
Yes.
bottom, right?
Yes, correct. I'm very excited with that project. It's a huge step for us in Mexico, in terms of, female equality and representation in music festivals all around the world. And I really do think that it's such a special event, not only for the industry in Mexico, but also for women in the industry worldwide. I mean, there's just so much, everybody is so excited. I mean, all the acts are coming from all over the world to perform. I mean, we have huge names, Garbage, Evanescence, we have Camila Cabello, Demi Lovato, and everyone is just really so excited to be in an all-female festival. It's just really, really amazing.
I love that. Congrats again on this series. It's been so much fun to watch you all, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks to my guest. Also, thanks to you for checking out the episode in the series. Before you get out of here, hit that subscribe button. Again, you get 3 brand new interviews every single week. New one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at right here on YouTube, or of course anywhere in podcast land, including iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podchaser, NPR, or WFPK.org as well. A great way to keep up with your favorite artists and discover new ones as well. Then after that, actually head over to WFPK.org. That's where I do a show Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. It's an hour full of song premieres, music news, anniversary spins, bonus interviews, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern at WFPK.org. Consequence has your music and film news. You can also find me on the social media spots, Facebook, Instagram, mostly on Twitter. All 3 of them, the address is at Kyle Meredith. Do hope you like and follow along. That does it for another edition. I'm Kyle Meredith. I'll see you next time.